stop it. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. You can't stop it.
Hey guys, welcome to another video. Obviously this video is about Kamae. Over the years I've heard a lot of people talk about Kamae, and most of it's very good information. But still, beginning students always see Kamae as just a physical posture. If you were to ask someone who was under black belt and you were to say, hey, what is a Kamae? They would say it's a physical form. In every style of martial arts, when you start learning something, the teacher is going to give you a stance, a position to have your body in. In many cases, these positions of your body narrow your target, hide your vitals, and give you an opportunity to be able to defend and attack from that same physical position. That's basically what you consider to be a fighting form, a fighting posture. That's totally different from a kamai. A kamai is a spiritual intent, a thought, an attitude, a feeling, a strategy. And this internal thought, strategy, feeling, and attitude will manifest itself through your physical body, and you will project energy into your opponent that's going to give you a desired outcome. That simply is what kamai is. It is an internal strategy, a feeling, and a thought process that you want to will into action. You're going to take a specific stance with your body to let that energy project through you into your opponent, to be able to create movement that's advantageous to you. Each of these scrolls, these family ruhas, have different postures. They have different strategies. They have different feelings. They have different manipulations. So when you study these different ruhas, you have to understand what these feelings are and how they change from system to system. Many of the ruhas have postures, physical stances that look the same. But the internal energy, the spiritual philosophy, the strategy behind these physical stances may alter or change some. And you've got to be aware of that, especially when you're training in that specific ruha. Each ruha has a story that's being told. And the posture, the kamai, is some way the vehicle that story is being told. It's how you're going to let this internal energy, this strategy, this thought process, these attitudes escape from your body into your opponent. You're going to do that through a physical form. I don't want you to see posture or kamai as just a physical stance. If you need a person to move to the right, you just move your hand to the right. You move your body to the right. If they start walking towards you, you point at their feet with your hand. That physical movement is part of it. But the spiritual intent behind those physical movements is really what brings to life the power and strength of the kamai. So in this video, I'm not trying to teach you the kamais. I'm not trying to teach you the movement from the kamais. I want to talk about what's going on inside, behind the kamais, and how they slightly differ from school to school. I haven't included all the schools. I haven't included all the kamais. I've just picked a few from each school so we can kind of tell a story and have a conversation. From there, I want you to go back into your own training. Think about when you get into a stance or a posture, why you've done that. What is your intent? What is your purpose for being in that kamai? When you're in that kamai, what desired result are you trying to accomplish? Is your mind, your thoughts, are they projecting energy into your opponent to try to manipulate or control them? Or are you just standing there in a physical form? Think about it. Start to develop it. If you've already to the point to where you understand the feelings of these different ruhas, you understand any of these, just see exactly how in tune you can be with your opponent, how much control you have just with your thoughts and just with your physical form. Can you stop a fight? Can you end a threat of violence just with your kamai? If it's done correctly, I think you can. So again, in this video, if you take anything away, I want you to know that a kamai is an internal spiritual attitude, a feeling, an intent that's manifested through your physical body that projects energy and manipulates your opponent. When you do that, you are using kamai. You are doing kamai properly. It's not just alone a physical stance. It is a representation, a reflection of an intent inside you that's being sent and directed into your opponent to give you some type of an advantageous position to be able to defend yourself or end that threat of violence. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think it's something that people are going to get a lot out of, especially if you're a beginning student. These kamai can save your life. Take them seriously.
All right, let's take a look at Togakure-ryu. This first kamai is called Hira no Kamai. In Hira no Kamai, you have the feeling, and with all of these kamais where you're standing in that natural position, you have the feeling of being calm, but yet prepared. And you're not showing your opponent anything. He's kind of standing at you. He's coming to fight. He's really not sure what you're doing, but you're not in a natural, undefensive position. You're slightly changing to a defensive posture. Hands loosely clenched fist. Intent is aware of everything around you, and you're totally prepared for anything that could happen. Next is Ichi no Kamae. Ichi no Kamae is you're driving and putting that energy forward into your opponent. You're trying to control all of his movements and all of his intentions. You're telling him to stop. Stop moving. If you need him to move to the right, to the left, if you're trying to control his movements forward and backwards, you're going to use this kamai. And with Togakure-ryu, you're leaning back far to make you seem like you're very far away, but yet you're close enough to defend and to attack. This is Ichi no Kamae. Next is Hirichi Manji no Kamae. Again from Togakure-ryu. You're going to send the energy out to both your sides, and you're kind of creating a boundary of energy. So you're thinking about a boundary of energy going out to your right, a bound of energy going out to your left. And you're trying to make it feel like it's very difficult to get past you. And there's a lot of other things I want to talk about that maybe at a later video. Happogakure no Kamae is kind of an interesting one. It's kind of like Hoko no Kamae, but your fists are loosely clenched, where you're hiding maybe blinding agents, or you're making him aware that there could be some type of a danger with your hands up above there. So you're letting him know there could possibly be something in there, drawing his attention up, but yet leaving your center open. He's probably going to attack your face or your body, and you're going to use this hands from above to strike and drop down or deliver your blinding agent or whatever you have in your hands as a distraction. This one's very popular. So this is one we've all seen. So you know exactly what's going on here. You want to look into their eyes, pierce into their eyes with the hand, getting into their mind, dropping your hand down to their heart, sending energy into their heart to try to make them second guess themselves. And you say you can open them up to make them go to your right, and then as they move, you can stop them by changing your kamai. Make them come around to the left. As they move, you can stop them. Not only using your physical body, but with your intention. So when you open up to the left or to the right, you have to ease the energy up a little bit to let them and allow them to come forward. That's how you control them, with your energy and your body. This is Hirichi Manji no Kamae. Again, with Hirichi Manji no Kamae, you're pushing that energy out, pushing it out to the sides, kind of wrapping around your opponent, making him feel like it's impossible to get past you. And if they start to move to your left, you send the energy to your left. They move to your right, you send the energy to your right. Here's another example of Happogakure. Again, the movements of the kamai should not be stagnant, not in one place. You see how I'm moving left and I'm right. I'm trying to make myself, number one, not a stationary target. That's kind of why boxers move the way they do. But at the same time, I need to be nimble on my feet so when he does attack into the center, I'm prepared with some type of a defense. But you want to use this energy of crushing from above down into your center as part of Happogakure no Kamae. Let's take a look at Kukishin-ryu. This is Hira no Kamae. Again, most people would know it as a Shizen no Kamae. But with Hira no Kamae, lightly clenched fist. And again, I want to stare into my opponent's eyes. And I don't want the opponent to know what I'm thinking. I want to show no intention. I don't want to show any type of fear. And I really don't want to push any type of energy. Now you see how I changed that kamai. This is still here, but more of a combat-driven kamai. I may have started with my hands down, and as my opponent gets closer, I'm going to rise my hands up, draw a little bit of energy, and prepare myself for that attack. Hiriichi Munji no Kamae. Use Shikan or extended knuckle fist. Again, I'm still pushing that energy out, and I'm trying to wrap that energy around my opponent, making him feel like he's being surrounded with my energy, that he's got no way to be able to escape. I'm also letting him know he can't get past me. So I have the intention of protecting something that's very important behind me. Next, the Seiga no Kamae. With Seiga no Kamae, again, you're looking into the opponent's eyes, and you should be doing this with all of the Kamae, either piercing into their eyes, sending that intent. If you're nervous about looking into the eyes, look at the spot that's just above or between the eyes, so it has the appearance you're looking to the eyes, but project your energy in there. You're trying to send that energy to control and to manipulate your opponent. You are in control. Next is Kosei no Kamae. Kosei no Kamae, you're attacking with kind of an individuality aspect. There's going to be no set movement, and you're going to be able to enter with courage at your own timing. When you move to Kosei no Kamae, you're probably going to warrant some type of an attack. He's not exactly sure what the stance is. He's not exactly sure what's open. And you've got to be able to send the spiritual energy of like, let's go, let's get it on. So when you go to this Kamae, be ready to fight. Katate Hicho no Kamae. You're sending energy out for sure, and you're pushing it into him, but you're kind of setting things up more on a center line. You want to try to keep the attention off of you by pushing the energy from that center line, making him go right or making him go left, making him feel that coming straight down that center line is just too dangerous. So you're forcing him to go right or forcing him to go left, keeping that center line clear. Togakure-ryu is a jujitsu system, and Shizen-tai no Kamae. So Shizen-tai, a lot of people use the word of Mushin or Zanshin or total awareness, and it's not a blank or an emptiness. It is a void so you can be a receptor. You want to act like it's almost like a vacuum that's pulling in energy, senses from around you. You're kind of trying to figure out what's going on. You necessarily may not even fight from this exact Kamae, but in the beginning, you're going to take this Kamae to get an analysis of what's going on. Moving to the next Kamae is Hira no Kamae. Different from Shizen, this has more of a forward attitude. This has more of a, I am here, I am going to fight, I am relaxed, I am prepared, but I'm not showing you nothing. I'm not showing you that I'm anxious to fight. I'm not showing you fear. I'm not showing you that I'm going to move to the right, to the left, anything, but I'm letting you know that I am ready. It's almost like a warning shot that if you come, I'm prepared to defend myself. Seiga no Kamae. So this is a little bit different. So you see you're protecting that center line again. You have the upper level, Jodan level, the Chudan level covered, and that middle hand is going to protect the lower level as well. You're very centered with this Kamae. Your mind is prepared. You're ready to receive any type of an attack. Your energy is forward, and you're penetrating into your opponent. So you're pushing your arms forward, sending your energy forward, protecting your center line, and letting the opponent know that if he comes, he's got something to deal with. And the only way for him to get to you is to come through that center line, and you're very well protected. So this is a great Kamae to keep yourself protected for someone coming straight forward. Gyokko-ryu. Gyokko-ryu is probably where most of the Kamaes, most people train with these Kamaes here. This is a Hiriichi Munji that most people know of for Gyokko-ryu. And with Hiriichi Munji no Kamae, you had the feeling of protecting something very important behind you. So as you open your arms and you're sending the energy forward, you're sending the energy out to the right and to the left, and you're also trying to make yourself wide, and you're making yourself seem like if they need to get past you, it's going to be very difficult. So going left and going right, the energy is strong. That means that the center may be where they attack because you seem to be wide open. So you have to be prepared to defend yourself from this position for a center attack. You're going to move right and left to stop the attack. That attack is probably coming down the center line. Ichimonji no Kamae. So you see it's a little more rounded off. Gyokko-ryu does have its origins coming from China, so you may see some of the Chinese principles or influences come. But with the Seiga no Kamae here, from Gyokko-ryu, I'm sorry, Ichimonji no Kamae from Gyokko-ryu, you have the feeling of piercing your opponent's heart. So your energy is going forward. You're sending energy into his spirit. You're making him think about this. I'm very well protected. I'm very well prepared. I'm very confident. Are you sure you want to do this? Make him doubt himself. There's really no way to come forward on you. So you're very strong and very powerful. Your intent is very powerful, and hopefully you can deter the fight. Hicho no Kamae. This is kind of where people think this crane stance thing is. You start and stand there. You move from Ichimonji into Hicho. You're kind of drawing your energy up and then exploding with all that energy into your opponents. You're kind of coiling up with your energy and then striking with that. So as they attack, you kind of coil up and then you would be able to strike. With Hicho no Kamae, you had the feeling of gathering all of your energy and then exploding into your opponent. Make sure you're staring into his eyes. Next is Jumonji no Kamae. Jumonji no Kamae has a feeling of being able to drive back any attack, to be able to break your opponent's will, and to be able to tear apart any of his attacks with your strong counterattacks. You're feeling pushing. You're pushing him forward. You can drive any type of an attack back. Your hands are crossed, you're very strong, your weight is down. Anything that comes with you, you're going to drive backwards. You're going to push backwards. Let's look at Koto-ryu. Koto-ryu Seiga no Kamae. So with Seiga no Kamae, Koto-ryu, you have the feeling of using your will to make him do as you wish. You're going to look into his eyes and you're going to tell him, stop. You're going to send him energy to come forward. You're going to use your body and use your energy to tell him to move to a certain direction, to move to the right, to move to the left, to stop moving your feet. You're going to control him with your intentions and you're going to control him with your physical body. But the first signal you're sending with this Kamae is to stop. Stop your movement. The person's walking towards you, you go into Kamae, you send the energy, you tell him to stop. That's the first thing you want to be able to do, is start to dictate him. So this is Hira Ichimonji no Kamae. So this has a little bit different feeling. You want this to be a little bit more subtle, where it's feeling like it's wrapping around just that opponent. The energy is not going out really far to the left and really far to the right. It's kind of just wrapping around. If you're fighting 3 or 4 people, it would just wrap around both of those individuals, 3 of those individuals, and you're trying to contain them into one spot. Hoko no Kamae. Hoko no Kamae is a strong Kamae. It has a feeling of kind of breaking out of something or crushing something into your center. So as you rise up into Kamae, you're staring into his eyes. And your energy is almost like, imagine a bear hug and you're breaking free from it. Or if someone was attacking to your center, you're going to kind of crush it. Like he was going to tackle you, you would crush his head. So you have the feeling of rising up with energy and crushing something with your center. Next is Bobi no Kamae. This is the feeling of like, let's get it on. Let's go. When you get into Bobi no Kamae, you're ready to go. You're done manipulating. You're done trying to, you want this fight to happen right now, right here. There's no way of retreat, surrendering. We're going to fight, and we're going to fight right here, right now. So you're going to look him into the eyes. You're going to bring your hand up, prepare that backhand, and you see how I lower myself down. And I'm trying to lure him into safety where he feels like he has an opportunity to attack. I lower my hand, I lower my hand. When he feels it's safe, he's going to attack. I'm going to clear whatever he does with that forward hand and destroy him with one strong shot with that backhand. But I want this fight to happen right now. Let's look at Gikan-ryu. It's a ryu not many people train with, but this is Shizen no Kamae of Gikan-ryu. This is kind of that natural standing position. You don't want your opponent to even know you're in a Kamae. So you're kind of hiding the fact that you're actually in a Kamae, but you are. With Hira no Kamae, or what some people may call Shizen Tai, you're going to be very relaxed. Your eyes are looking straight forward. Your hands are down by your thighs, and you're not giving him any clue. Imagine someone coming towards you with the intent to hurt you, and you start from that position where he's kind of confused. You seem too relaxed, too at peace. It confuses him. And you move to Ichimonji no Kamae. Ichimonji no Kamae is when you begin to start to control his intentions. You're going to control his movements. Again, with Ichimonji no Kamae, you're moving down that center line, protected very well, and you're sending your energy into your opponent by telling him to stop moving. Stop moving. So with Ichimonji no Kamae, anyone like this here, that forward energy is telling him to stop his movement. This is Shiten no Kamae. You're trying to draw your opponent's attention up. You're sending energy up high above your head. You want him to almost feel the energy around himself lift up. And then slowly you move forward and you bring this energy back down on him, where it almost feels like it's claustrophobic, where it's surrounding him. This is Hachikyu. It's kind of like a Bobi no Kamae, and it has some of the same feelings. You know, you have the energy flowing equally through both arms. You're ready to go. You're very flexible, but you see again how you open yourself up. By dropping that forward hand down, you're telling your opponent, let's go. So you may start here, and then you slowly rise that hand down. And he's going to start to say, what is he doing? And his head's getting closer, and then he's going to be able to attack. So you're kind of baiting him into this attack. You're dictating when this attack comes, and you're dictating that he's attacking to your head. Your energy is very welcoming, and you're asking him to attack. Shinden Furu Jutai Jutsu. For those who don't know, there is no Kamae in the Dakentai. They all come from the Jujutsu side. So this one here is Seiga no Kamae. You're sending your energy into your opponent, all of your attentions into your opponent, and you're being very confident. You're trying to make him second guess himself. So as your energy is pushing forward, you're sending the energy forward, you're saying, stop. Are you sure you want to do this? If you come, I am going to kill you. I am going to fight to the death. Are you prepared to go all the way? And that is the intention you're putting into him, and you're ready to go. You can't be faking, so you better start training. Katate Seiga no Kamae is kind of unique. It's very similar to a lot of other kamais, but the front hand is a fist, and the back hand is kind of like Bobi no Kamae. You're controlling that center line, which is kind of an interesting thing. What you want to be able to do is kind of show him you're willing to hold your ground. So in this one here, this is one you don't really move around too much. When you go to this kamai, you stand there and you wait and you see what he has. You're trying to make him give himself up. You want to find out what his intentions are. Again, here we go with Hiriichi Monju no Kamae. Your arms are sending out energy, and you want to make sure there's no way the opponent can get past you. So this is again sending the energy out to the right and to the left. It's wrapping around behind him, it's encompassing him, and your energy is coming forward as well as around him. So he just feels this giant pushback, making it very difficult to get past you. Shizen no Kamae is again very relaxed. Again, this is a difficult Kamae because you have to think you're in a life or death situation. Maybe there's weapons involved, and you have to be able to not show your opponent your hand, not show him your card, not show him your intention, not show him your fear, but still be ready to fight, still be ready to go. So even though Shizen looks to be a very natural, calm stance, your mind is very connected to everything going on around you. It's very difficult. Here's some examples of movements. So again, I want to stop him. I go to Kamae, stop him. I'm going to try to dictate where he comes. So as he moves, I'm sending my energy and I'm following him. So I'm not just using my physical body, but I'm sending that energy to stay away, to stay back, to stay back, to stay back, to stay back, to stay away. And I'm not letting him get close to me. Here with Hiriichi Monju no Kamae, again, I want to make sure that he feels the energy going to the left and to the right. And when he moves to the left, I'm going to move and send energy. He moves this way, I'm going to send energy. I'm going to try to get around him. He gets too close. Again, I know he's coming to that center line, so I have to be ready to move and defend that area. Happogakure. See how my hands are open? And see how they close? There was nothing in my hands, right? No, there was. So I have his attention up, and I'm using some type of an attacking blinding agent. Here is Seiga no Kamae. So again, watch how I stop his movement. And I try to control him a little. I try to send him backwards. He's like, no, I'm coming forward. I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to stop him. I'm going to go the other way. I open up. I stop him. I give him a sense of security. I stop him. And then when I feel that he may be ready to attack, I push forward. I'm trying to control and to manipulate him with my energy. This is how you would do it, protecting the center line of Togakure-ryu. Again, the center line is protected. Attacks and I move. Attacks and I move. Need to be able to defend against all three levels. Next is from Gyokko-ryu. This is much more of a circular stance. So you see I protect that center line, he attacks, and I'm moving around my opponent. Jumonji no Kamae, to drive back any attack. So when he attacks, I'm driving him back. See, I stay away. Again, here, push back, stay away, driving him backwards. Not just with my kamai, with my physical body, but with my spirit. Here's Hicho. Going to draw the energy up and then attack. Draw the energy up and attack. Bobi no Kamae. Let's get it on. Stop. And I'm going to control him some. And then when I'm ready to fight, I'm going to open him up and let him in. I'm saying, come and get him. And then hopefully ending the fight with one single blow. Shita no Kamae. This is from the Gikan-ryu. Again, I want to rise his energy up. I want him to see my hands. I want him to be aware of this. I want to push down on him. I want him to feel the energy coming from above and down. I want to make him feel claustrophobic. And this will show you just when I feel the energy, I turn and I use kamai to stop him. Stop. It's not just a physical stance, it was the energy. Hey man, thanks for watching. If you want to get some more information, check us out on Patreon. Hope to see you around, man. Hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions you got, send them out to US Nippo Academy at Spectrum.net. I'll get to every one of them.